welcome to another awesome episode here of Cookies Enabled, and I am your host, Will. Now, as you're noticing probably, Andrew is not here at this very moment, and that is okay. He's probably with his family, hopefully not working, because I know he was supposed to have today off with family, and just that's awesome, because we appreciate that here at Cookies Enabled. So, of course, have a great night, but we did get a pre-show filmed earlier today, which knocks out a bunch of topics today. So I am going to let both myself and Andrew from earlier today take it over the show here for about another 20 minutes, but I will see you guys in a few minutes here with a few remaining topics to finish up the show, but I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello everyone. Obviously we're filming this earlier in the day with Andrew here, our co-host, and we have some awesome news for you guys today. If you see me rubbing my crotch areas because I got Kitty in my lap here. This is Celine, and she's deciding to join us for the show. So sorry, that's what I'm petting down here in my lap the whole time. So
everybody, say hi to our new co-host.
Yeah, Celine.
We can put her on the payroll, can't
Oh
we?
yeah, I'm sure she wouldn't mind some kitty treats occasionally. Right, baby girl. Anyway, so you have a bunch of awesome news for us this week. Oh my God, very exciting.
We do.
I don't know where to start.
We're recording it early again. Not because I have to work tonight, but just I got some of my family's home, so I want to hang out with them this evening. And
family's important.
Yeah, but I'm back in the igloo. I believe Will has a photo. I sent him one just so you guys can kind of see where I am.
It's pretty cool looking.
I love these things. Yeah.
It looks nice and toasty.
And you can get them. I think they're called Garden Igloo. So like gardenigloo.com,
right.
You could probably go and you can buy them.
Oh.
It's a geodesic dome. So that photo shows you kind of where I am. They got a heater set up. There's tables.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's hard to assemble. It looks like it's just like a PVC pipe or something and some plastic.
Basically. Yeah, it's a plastic covering. They've got a roll of tape if there's a tear on it.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It's a fun place.
Very cool.
Right now it's probably like 50, 60 degrees in here.
Yeah.
The snow's starting to melt from the warmth. So they work like a greenhouse. You could use one as a greenhouse if you wanted, as long as the wind doesn't blow it away, which is a possibility.
Right. And luckily it hasn't.
But yeah, so I'm over here. We got some news. Not a bunch from SpaceX.
Yeah, not a ton from SpaceX, unfortunately.
Well, a little.
Yeah, a little bit. You're right.
They've done a few more launches. They have done another StarLink launch, obviously. I mean, they're doing one every other week, basically. Right. I didn't find the proper article, but they are. Well, let's just address the elephant in the room. Not even the elephant in the room. Everything going on in the world.
We have to, unfortunately. Obviously, Russia.
I know we're a science and education channel, but I want to publicly state. But in this case, I want to publicly state I stand with Ukraine.
Yes, thank you.
And what is happening over there is absolutely horrible.
Right.
And my heart goes out to everybody that's being affected by this.
Absolutely.
It's
hang in there, guys, because that's not okay.
What can you say?
No, it's not okay what's being done to these people, and pretty much everybody in the United States agrees. I haven't met a single person that's like, "Go Russia!" Like, no, everybody's like, "What is happening?"
Neither have I.
Like,
neither have I.
Yeah,
Even some of my more right-wing leaning friends are
in disbelief, right?
Abhorred by this.
Yeah, this is not okay at all, and we are horrified by this, unfortunately. And of course, we are watching it diligently. And I know my cousin is, I think, over in Poland right now, also monitoring the situation. So, yeah, I'll if I hear anything specific, I will let you guys know. But so far,
yeah, again, we don't try to get into politics.
Right. We're not trying to jump into that.
But this is not politics anymore. This is human rights.
Yes.
The reason I say that and just bring it up, I wanted to preface everything saying that we are 100% behind Ukraine.
Absolutely.
But it does lead into a few of our topics because SpaceX StarLink has been helping out there. Now, one of the... Yeah, now, I mean, it's a small thing.
Yeah.
But it helps.
It is. This doesn't seem like much, and it's really about the best that StarLink could do at the time, other than donating money, which I'm sure they did. Like.
Yeah, well, one of the major concerns that I think the Ukrainian people have had is, what if Russia starts knocking out their access to the internet?
Right. Oh, they were already doing all kinds of stuff before the attack to the Ukrainian banks and things. So this is ridiculous.
Well, we've seen with other occupations and other clashes around the world, a lot of your, like how do I even put it?
I know.
Like the resistance fighters, they use things like Twitter and Discord to communicate, because they aren't an official military. They don't have official military channels. They have to use publicly available connections.
Right.
I saw on TikTok, apparently there are resistance fighters posting TikToks teaching, like giving instructions on how to operate abandoned Russian military vehicle.
Wow. Nice.
To help both. But if you don't have internet, that doesn't work. So just to help out in some area and to provide aid in some areas that might have their communications knocked out, Elon Musk reported a few days ago that StarLink was immediately available all throughout the Ukraine. Remember, StarLink is still in its infancy. You can be a beta tester. Right. There are a few public places, but we have enough satellites up there that it can be used efficiently in most places around the world. They're just not there to go completely public yet everywhere.
Right.
But he opened up the Ukraine, and they are shipping. I sent a photo to Will.
Yep, I got it.
Put it up. It's from the back of the trailer. They are shipping tons of StarLink satellite dishes to the Ukraine for resistance fighters in the military to use should they need it. And we've already gotten some tests.
Yep.
There's an article we have
from this awesome Ukrainian.
Yeah. Now, he's had his StarLink receiver for a while. He's been using it. He's got a YouTube channel. He's been using it to test it out, sort of reverse engineer it to figure out how it works.
Right, he kind of dismantled the main section here.
Yeah, once he heard that StarLink was active in Ukraine, he decided to test it out. And apparently it went really well. He's getting 200 megabit per second plus speeds with very good latency.
Which is awesome.
So it proves that it's working.
Yeah.
And if things deteriorate over there and Russia decides to try and shut down some of their internet capabilities, this means he can't.
Exactly.
It provides a viable communication network in that country when they desperately need it. So,
which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy to see some of that coming through.
Yeah, so that is really cool.
It's something. It's a private company doing what they can. I know we talk about people can do more, and everybody can always do more, but at least it's something worthwhile. Yeah, it's good for publicity, but it's also helping.
It is. It's helping. It may be super minimal, and I know the Ukrainian president came out with a tweet that was pretty much like, you're shooting all these rockets into space and doing all that stuff, and then all you send us is some satellite dishes or whatever. And it was like, okay, come on, like, what is he supposed to do? Like, he's not the president.
Tweet,
like,
no. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of power. He can't provide weapons. He's not going to do that. No. But it's a step in the right direction. It's something positive.
It's the way he can help legally without being too much of an interference to Russia.
Or getting in trouble with the FAA or any regulatory issues. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, he's also, because of those tensions with the International Space Station, apparently NASA is looking into increasing their resupply and crew missions from SpaceX as well. Because what if Russia says, we're not going to bring your astronauts back, or we're not going to take them up
Wow, I didn't think of that. Okay.
Now, despite the tensions, even from the earliest days of space collaboration,
Right.
politics have not really gotten in the way of the space program
Right.
between Russia and the United
No.
States. They haven't. But now things are a little different, and they're not sure. But the good thing this time is we have a backup. Not even a backup. We have SpaceX. We have
Right.
tested, flight-proven Crew Dragons. So, say Russia says, sorry, we're not going to launch another Soyuz rocket.
Right.
We're not going to bring your astronauts back. SpaceX, within a matter of days, going to have a Crew Dragon
Right.
ready, launch it, dock, and bring people back.
Right.
So we have other options, which we needed,
Yep.
especially
Absolutely.
in today's geopolitical climate. So, again, not getting too much into politics. It's
No.
just, it's looking at the best options. You have to have other options.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And, I mean, imagine what it would have been like in a decade ago when we retired the space shuttle and did not have anything
Oh
else.
man.
Nobody else could have flown us up there. Maybe the European Space Agency didn't even have
Not a
capsule,
working one at the
capsule
time.
that would work.
Yeah.
So we're fortunate to have SpaceX right now to
Mhm.
be able to do that, and they're going to be ordering a lot more flights, I think, from them. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep you all updated
Yes,
on how
yes.
things go. So yeah, that's our SpaceX news.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately.
think last space bit update I had was the James Webb Telescope is getting closer to
Yes.
being aligned. They finally did a stacked image from all of the mirrors of a star, and you're starting to see things come into focus.
Yep.
So we got about 2 or 3 months left of focusing and testing, but then we're going to get some really awesome images. Right now they're doing it on a close star just so they can
Right.
focus.
Yep.
But once it's focused, then we can look as far back as possible. What, I think 13.7 billion years?
Yeah. Yep.
But right now, they use a relatively close star to align the mirrors to get a good, solid image from all of them, and get it focused.
Yep. As you can see, it started to look
But-
like there's 18 little smudges, and then they're all kind of, I found a nice GIF that
Yep.
demonstrates how they're focusing the images down. So then they take those 18 and they'll focus it down to this one that you're seeing. So they did a great
Yep.
job. It looks great. It's tons of focus. You can really see a lot going on, and they haven't even really gotten into the zooming features yet. We're just, like you said, it's the close neighboring star that we're just focusing on for, just focus. And I love this. This is, it's minor, but it's really huge, because if they don't get this stage right, then everything we do from here on out is going to be a pain. You know what I mean? Like a total headache. So,
Yeah, it looks like it's going well. That was the issue with Hubble,
Right.
if you remember. They launched it,
Yeah.
they took some, and the mirrors, there was slight perturbances in the
Yes.
mirror surface.
Yep.
So they had to basically build a set of extremely expensive, oversized eyeglasses to correct those issues in the mirror.
right.
You can't do that with Webb.
No.
You can't take a shuttle up, capture the telescope, install them, and then come back. It's way out there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it doesn't really work well.
No, but
But
good news. It's going
so
well.
far, everything's worked well,
Right.
and it's working nominally, and they don't expect any issues with the alignment process. So
Right.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so far so good. Everything's been looking great, and it's been kind of hush hush. But every couple of weeks, I feel like we get a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And so that's what I love about it, is that they're not just totally keeping us in the dark for the next 2 or 3 months. We're going to continue to probably
No,
get
they're-
progress reports, which is just awesome.
Well, they give us the reports when there's something to report.
Right.
It is a long process.
Yeah.
You can't just move a mirror a centimeter in a day.
No.
You have to go
I mean, you
very,
could, but-
very slowly. Yeah. It's extremely complicated.
to say the least. Now, on a less tragic note.
Well, that's that's space news. Before I get into my big topic, do we want to share some memes?
Yes, I was gonna say let's do the memes. We'll loosen it up the mood a little bit, and then we'll jump into your final topic before I jump off and do my last couple. So. I think the first meme here, I think, is from me, actually. Oh, no, this is yours. So this is Tool Expectations, which I love that title.
Oh, I love this
Tool
one.
Expectations. So obviously you got your first one here. I'm going to read these to you if you can't, because I know I kind of had to cram it onto the screen. But it says, please come loose. The second one is, hope it comes loose. And the third one is, I wasn't asking. Obviously, the fourth one down is, you should have listened. And then the last one is my favorite. It can't be tight if it's liquid.
Can't be tight if it's a liquid. If anybody who's worked on cars or anything with a ratchet, we've been
yes.
You use the small one, and if it doesn't come loose, a longer one, provide more torque. Yeah. That extra torque can break it off. Yeah. You know, they call them breaker bars. Mm-hmm. Finally, he's fed up, so he's got an angle grinder just to cut it off. But if that doesn't work, then use a torque.
Fire!
You can't be tight if it's a liquid. And I feel like anybody who's worked with anything mechanical, especially cars, you can understand. I've dealt with that with...
Oh, yeah. I've definitely had this problem in the past with cars. Just trying to get like my brake pads changed, and you can't get like that one lug nut off or something, and it's like you've spent like 2 hours doing the one lug nut.
It's been rusted shut for 3 years,
exactly.
And nothing is going to get it off. No, it does not. Yeah, you can't be tight if it's a liquid. Just melt it down.
Screw it.
You can always drill it out and retap the hole, but those are...
and do you have those tools?
No. Are very expensive.
Yes.
So just burn it out.
Just burn it.
I mean, it's probably not the best. Unless, if you have to put another bolt back in, it's not a good idea, because now you don't have threads.
Right.
If you just want to get it off and you don't care about the end result, melt that thing.
Always a good advice there. Always good. So the next one here I got is I'm gonna do one of each here. So I found this one, and I think I shared this with you earlier, Andrew. But it says, someone who works at a charity shop put Jeff Goldblum in every single photo frame. So they got little. These before. Have you seen this one? Oh my gosh, I love this one.
Not that one, but I've seen others. People have done that with Betty White, with random people. It's always hilarious.
I love the fact that in the bottom left hand corner, if you look really closely, they have the scene of him in the Jeep from Jurassic Park or whatever. He's all like, like ripped open, he's about to fall apart. It's just awesome. With like some of his best photos. I think they did a really good job. Like, hey, what a selling point. And for those of you...
And nobody's going to notice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's a thrift store. Someone's going to just walk past it and one day realize, wait a minute.
Right. But yes.
It's a fun, harmless prank.
Exactly. If you don't know Jeff Goldblum or his frame of mind, he's definitely an interesting dude. He's got a show on Disney Plus called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. It's actually pretty interesting. You should definitely check it out.
I haven't watched that yet.
It's actually not half bad. It's a lot of things that most people probably already know, but some really interesting facts that you might not have known as well. So definitely check it out. Really good watch. And he's a really good host. So, hey. Anyway, so the next one here is yours. And love this one, Andrew. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Check engine.
We've all been there. Like,
yes.
At some point, if you have an old car, you see that and you think, I don't care. I'm just going to drive it. If it breaks, it breaks.
Exactly. Like,
I don't have money to repair it. My oil's good. Just let the light on.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about it, too. It's, oh, good, the light's on today.
And then the next day you turn it on and it's not.
Yes.
And you're just, what?
Nothing changed. I don't know. Those are cars for you, though. And the final one is a little bit from Sheldon. It says, how are you doing? Sheldon's response, oh my, that's an uncomfortable topic. this has pretty much been my life for the last, like, probably 6 months to a year, unfortunately. Where, like, I don't even really know how to answer that question. Am I doing, if I'm there and I'm present, then it's going okay. So that's how I'm handling things.
You get a lot of shit going on every day, and so if you can just get out of bed, go to work, and be in a decent mood, that's an accomplishment.
That is a huge accomplishment.
You know? We're all feeling it. So don't feel don't feel burdened by it. It's normal.
Yeah.
We're living through a really weird time. So it is an uncomfortable topic.
Yes.
But it's a fun meme.
I love that one. And Sheldon's always got some good memes in there. I'm sure we'll have tons more. If you don't know Sheldon, check out the Big Bang Theory on Paramount Plus. You should be able to find, I think, all seasons listed on there right now. So give that a watch. Anyway, you have one last topic for us today. And this one is interesting.
Well, the meme you shared right there of how you're doing and saying that's an uncomfortable topic for the last 2 days, I can say I have been doing absolutely fantastic.
Right.
So we're going to share an image here.
Yes.
Will's going to bring up. For Christmas, I got a Ancestry.com DNA test.
Yes, I'm trying to download a little picture of what the DNA test looks like so you guys can see what that looks like, just in case.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a little vial, and you spit some saliva into it, and you screw a top on, and that top adds a stabilizer so that it doesn't expire or go bad during shipping.
Right. There you go.
And then you just seal it in a bag, and you send it off. That's it. It's that easy. It took me 1 minute.
Right.
And took about a month. They finally got it. They started extracting the DNA, analyzing the results. 2 days ago, I got a notification on my phone that said your DNA results are ready. And so Will's got the image. This is just, I wanted to share this because I thought this was fun. This is my ethnicity breakdown, basically.
Ethnicity breakdown.
I knew there was a large portion of Mexican in me. I thought more Irish. We weren't sure, but apparently not a lot of Irish. Mostly, like it says, indigenous Americas, Mexico. So, yeah, Northeast Mexico, South Texas. That's where it's where my father's side came from. I know. Yeah. Now my mother's side is pretty much all European, Germanic, Scotland. And then as you scroll down, you see some of the very low amounts, Basque, Senegal, Congo. A lot of people are going to have those percentages just because that, they call it the cradle of humanity. That's where everybody sort of started. So you're going to see a little bit of that. But yeah, it was really fascinating to see those results. On my app, I can actually scroll from, they have information on my family, genealogy at least, not people, because I don't have access to that yet, but from the 1700s on. And it wasn't until, I think, about the 1920s to 1950s that the majority of, at least on my father's side, moved from that area of Texas to Michigan.
Huh.
So I get to follow these, the trails of where did my family come from. The only reason I think I have more information on that is that maybe on my mother's side, there aren't as many people that have been on Ancestry.com, so we don't have the data. I'm not sure. I'm going to start looking into it. I might try 23andMe as well, just to see if there's different information on that site. We'll see. But on top of that, and we're going to talk about this maybe in another episode. We haven't discussed it yet, but I'd be open. The big reason why I'm feeling fantastic is I met one of my half brothers. It showed up as a match on Ancestry.com, and looked at the name, did some Facebook snooping, comparing the names. I think I've got a few uncles on there, but this guy, my little brother, confirmed some information with my parents. I'm adopted, if anybody did not know
Right.
that. I confirmed some details with them that might have coincided with this connection. Everything seemed to match up. And so I said, you know what?
Right.
Let's do it. I sent him a message. I got a message back a few hours later. We started talking. And then the day after that, yesterday, we got to sit down and do a video chat. And it was one of the most awesome hour and a half that
I can only imagine.
had in my life. It was incredible to... It brings people together. I learned that I have a little brother. I don't care about half. He's my little brother. I'm going to talk to him if I get permission, or if we do some filming. I'll show you all a photo of him. But the weird thing was doing the video chat.
Right.
We look just like each other. We sound like each other, and we couldn't get past that. It was so surreal. It was so...
I'm sure.
I'm still without words. I don't know how to even say anything or process it. It was absolutely amazing. My family just got a little bigger.
Yep.
You know, I told my parents it was the best Christmas gift I've ever gotten because I met a brother.
What kind of... I mean, that's amazing. You can't really ask for a better gift, right?
No, and hats off to my parents for they've been so supportive of me and everything I've done in my entire life. They bought the kit for me, and they're excited to meet him. He's excited to meet them. And in a few weeks, we're going to meet in person. So I don't know if we're going to film anything that day.
We understand.
Obviously, for a while, it has to be just about us. But if we get a chance, I'm hoping, even if we don't that day, I'm definitely would love to have him come on as a guest to talk about that story. You know, we brought Kelton on to talk about his story of dealing with childhood cancer. I think some of those more human stories really connect with people. I know
it
that
did,
one got
that was a very well received one. So definitely want to do another one for sure.
I mean, mind you, it's not just about views.
Right.
I love that it gets views, but we're tiny. We're not monetized.
No.
We're not doing this just to, make some bank off of YouTube. But it's stories of this, StarLink, Ukraine, computers, the art. Was it
Art
the
Prize,
art fair in Grand Rapids? All of these things. Art Prize, that's what it is. All of these things. I mean, they're about people in the end. They're about communities, people, education, and that's why we bring them to you. Where our channel goes across the board. I mean, we've covered everything. We don't really have a concise view of what we're doing like some other channels. I like that. As long as it's about education or interest stories and always as factual as we can, that's the important part.
It is. But I want to say thank you, Andrew, for tuning in today. And you shared a ton. Hopefully we get to see more about your new brother. And again, I know that's going to be a couple weeks out, and we have the second half of the Beethoven episode coming up soon, I think, too, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks,
that's going to be coming out.
I got the Windows 11 upgrade coming out.
The pipeline for next week. Yep. And then in 2 weeks,
awesome.
a week from Monday, we'll have the explanation. I hope everybody loved that performance.
So good.
Andy. But the next episode with him will be explaining, just kind of delving into somewhat the music theory of the piece, where it came from, the time era, why we call it the Moonlight Sonata, because that's not its original name. And he's going to explain more. So I hope you all enjoyed that performance.
Yes, I know I did.
It's like I said, it's not our normal thing, but it was beautifully played. And being the perfectionist that Andy is, if he didn't like it, he would not have allowed me to post it. So.
But yes, again, I appreciate both you and Andy for that video, and can't wait to see the rest. So definitely check back next Monday and the Monday after. There's going to be tons of new episodes coming out. But stick with me here because I'll be right back with a couple last stories for you for the day. But thanks again, Andrew. We will see you next week. And we appreciate all the news and look forward to more. Okay, so I am back, as you can tell. And again, thank you, Andrew, for that awesome update. We just slammed through a bunch of news, but we're not done yet. I have two more topics for the day, actually, and both are really, really interesting. So the first one I have here for you guys is actually about Wi-Fi. Now, we all have Wi-Fi in our houses. We use it everywhere. It's pretty much everywhere you go these days. I can't think of a place other than like the countryside. You're probably not going to find a Wi-Fi zone. But the biggest issues with Wi-Fi still to this day are congestion on your Wi-Fi network and having to switch channels or frequencies to find that, good, stable connection that's actually going to get you the speeds that you want. Well, thanks to Qualcomm, we may actually have a new version of Wi-Fi known as Wi-Fi 7 coming out in the coming years. By 2024, it will be completely officially out in the market, and you'll be able to go buy a router essentially that will be able to do all the technologies you're seeing here. So what makes Wi-Fi 7 different than like Wi-Fi 6, which is what most people are currently using in their house? Well, the difference here is that they've allowed the channels to all speak to each other, as well as have a secret high bandwidth channel that allows for special information to be sent across. So here's an example. You have a mesh network of different routers set up around your house, so you have a good even network set up. If you had Wi-Fi 7, it would use a special high frequency Wi-Fi that's only allowing the machines to communicate to each other, so they don't have the slowdown in communication with, maybe if something is moving from one room to another, it's still considered on the same network, even though it personally, like the little machine that you're using, has changed to a new router in your house. It's not going to get confused with what network it's on. It's not changing IP addresses. All of that is going to be handled by your router. It's essentially cramming artificial intelligence into your router and allowing it to figure out which frequencies in your house not only have the best and least congestion, but will also offer the fastest transfer rate of data. And then it will use that to communicate to all of those devices specifically. So another example is maybe you have tons of devices, like all my devices here in the background. Most of them use different frequencies. A good example is the Nintendo Switch uses a different frequency than the Xbox One, which uses a different frequency than the Xbox 360, and so on and so forth. So how that all communicates with the router can be very specific. If one is super old and the other one's brand new, they're going to use totally different ways to communicate with the router. And this device will now be smart enough to not only recognize that, but also utilize which antenna is going to be best for each device. So maybe it's thinking, oh, you only need a slower connection for the Xbox 360 because it's an older machine. It doesn't need a ton of, throughput of data. But my, gaming rig that I'm using right now to do this stream is going to get the most Wi-Fi that, and the best connection because it's doing the most. So this is going to be huge in places like airports, businesses, homes that are connected to apartment complexes where you have overlapping signals. Wi-Fi 7 is going to fix so many of the problems of congestion and latency that you expect when there's tons of congestion in one area or a ton of devices using one router. So we can all thank Qualcomm for this amazing device, and I know you've probably heard of Qualcomm because you probably have a device in your house that has a chip in it made by Qualcomm, and that's because they do a lot of the chips for Samsung as well as Motorola. So if you have either of those name brands in your house, you probably have a Qualcomm chip in there and didn't know it. So anyway, that is one of the second to last topics that I have for you guys. Keep an eye out for that, and I'll keep you up to date. Again, this is a little more than theoretical since those Qualcomm chips are coming out later this year in a slew of devices that will all support Wi-Fi 7, even though you don't have a router that supports it yet. So those will be coming later. So last topic for you guys today is about the outdoors. Now I know the temperatures are getting better. We're finally getting through spring, or into spring, I should say. At least here in Michigan, we're barely there. But to get you prepared, Thermacell has come out with a brand new device that allows you to repel mosquitoes effortlessly in a designated zone. So as they're showing here in this little advertisement I'm going to have looping next to me, is going to show a backyard patio with a pool in the center. And this allows you to set up these little cone-shaped devices around a pool or an area outside, and then you can control all of this with your phone. So these essentially take these little tiny pucks of I can't remember the chemical that they use. It's essentially what's in off mosquito spray, and it kind of just emits this through the space. So if you're going to go outside in the next 15 to 30 minutes to do some grilling, and you have this already set up, you can pull out your phone, hit the app, and be like, hey, I need the, I want no mosquitoes in my backyard near my grill, and it'll turn on those, receivers in that area. I'm going to show you another video here that'll kind of show you how to set it up. And what tools and stuff you need. This is really super basic, but it's unfortunately extremely expensive. The basic package starts at $700, but covers almost 1,000 square feet. So I'm going to show you a few graphs here in a minute or two. I'm going to let this video play a little bit. It demonstrates a lot more of the features and what goes on in the phone, which is really, really interesting. So I thought you guys would want to see that as well. So again, I'm going to post all this down below if you guys want to check this out. And you live in a place where you just can't stand the mosquitoes, and you don't want to spray tons of chemicals all over your yard, or like fog areas and tiki torches all over the place, which barely work. This is a really kind of a targeted idea. It won't affect your pets. It won't affect you or your kids. The really interesting part is, unlike a dog fence, these devices don't have to be connected into a full circle. They only have to be connected together. So you have the base that you attach to the side of your house, which connects to like the power and the Wi-Fi and all that stuff. Then you have these 20-foot cables or whatever that connect from the base to each little external hub that you have to set up around your patio or your backyard or front yard or wherever you want these. And then again, once you have that all set up, it connects to your network, and voila, you're all set. Again, as long as you're within about 20 feet of one of those hubs, you should be completely mosquito free. So I was interested to know how much of a repellent this actually works. And according to their website, they claim it is 93% effective at removing mosquitoes. So that's actually not bad. I'd say that's pretty good to most, repellents that you can spray directly on you. There's at least a good 90% chance they won't bite you, but they might land on you or something. But I don't know if this is necessarily like needed, and for the price, it's almost like a Glade plugin for outside to repel mosquitoes is really how you want to look at this. But it's costing hundreds of dollars rather than tens of dollars. So I kind of have an issue with this. I really love the idea of what Thermacell has come up with. I think this is ingenious because you're not spraying yourself with chemicals. You're just kind of letting it fill the air and the space around you, and voila, that should irradiate the mosquitoes. I think a net would do pretty much the same thing, and I've never had an issue with being in a net. But I don't know. I mean, this just seems a little odd to me that it's just so super expensive. So here's the first diagram. This is the base package, and this costs, let me see here. I'm sorry, the basic one is $6.99. It comes with the 3 hubs like you're seeing here. So this is like a back patio. And the way they have it even set up, they didn't even fully cover this back seated area, which I thought was kind of silly. But it does kind of cover more of the yard area, I guess. Now, if you get the second package, this is $7.99. This one comes with 4 of the hubs and 1 base, and more cabling as well. Covers 1,260 square feet. Which is actually pretty awesome. That does a really good job, I think, covering enough area. And then they have a third package, which is 5 repellers or hubs with 1 base, and that covers 15,775 square feet. Wow, I screwed that up real bad. Blah blah blah. But anyway, if you are interested and repelling mosquitoes from your house, these little devices might not be a terrible idea, but they're super expensive. I would say wait for a generic version from some other brand to come out that's going to do the same thing. Lo and behold, I guarantee you Procter & Gamble will have something out later this year that you can probably plug into your house and connect to your Wi-Fi that'll do the exact same thing. So I would say wait for that. This isn't a terrible idea, but if you got about $1,000 to throw around and you want some advanced mosquito repellent in your yard, more the merrier, I guess. Anyway, everybody, that was all I had for you guys today. We had several viewers today, and I want to say thank you for everybody for tuning in, and thank you for Miss Al for the awesome comments. And I know congratulations to Andy on his news about finding his half-brother, which is super cool. Hopefully we'll get more information on that. This coming Monday, I have my next episode coming out, which will show you how to upgrade your legacy or old school PC to Windows 11 with a very simple hack. It's a little bit of a long episode only because I really wanted to make sure I showed all the steps and exactly what to do, how to get there, where to find everything. So check that out. And then the week after that, we will have our next episode, or the full episode, I should say, of the Beethoven Moonlight Sonata episode, which we did get the preview this week, which was so awesome. Andy did a fantastic job. Thank you again, Andy, for that amazing presentation. It was wonderful. It's one of my favorite songs, and I've listened to it like a couple times already, so thank you. But anyway, I want to say thank you for everybody for tuning in. I hope you guys had a great time. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment below or shoot us an email above. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, so check us out on there if you guys have time. But thank you all for tuning in. I know I learned something new, and I hope you guys did too. We'll see you all next time, everybody. Have a great night.